Hey, good morning, Instructor Mason and fellow students. My name is Bryan Bailey, and I'm doing the video component for the UNV 501 Week 4 final assignment, if you would like to call it that. For this video program, I decided to I looked at the questionnaires and the questions, and I rated myself what standards do I excel at and which ones do I need work with. And taking a quick glance at what I did, out of the 10 questions, I found I have 6 positives, 1 neutral, and three negatives that I need to work on. And I would like to take a minute or two of each one to discuss where I stand and what are my philosophy and how maybe I can improve on some of these dispositions to make me an even more effective educator. Okay? So let's go ahead and start with the dispositions I need to work on. Okay, the first one I saw is promoting social justice. Um, Quite honestly, I do not believe it is an educator's position to promote social justice. All right, that's why we have law enforcement and courts and legal means to do that. I honestly believe is that we educators need to present the facts, present the material in a way so that the students can understand it and work with the students and with their individual education needs. And that at times can cause conflicts of interest where maybe one person's view of social justice is being enforced upon another. I think it should be kept out of the classroom, period. However, if it were in the realm of social studies, I can see where the Constitution is the discussion in the classroom. Then I could say, okay, yes, I can see where talking of social justice and how maybe lawsuits or legal reforms can help people address issues. But mostly, I still believe it should be kept out of classrooms. And if I do have to cover this material, I'll have to present it in an effective but a very short manner. Okay. The second disposition that I find that I really need work on is what I would call the reflection combined with experience. From our prior classes, that's called self-efficacy. And a lot of times I'm kind of once I finish a certain unit or a project or school year, I really don't reflect on that. I just consider myself okay. It's done. It's over with. Perhaps I need to do that more. Think about okay, what didn't work this semester? What can I use from the good things I was able to work with in the prior semesters, however it may be. And that's one issue that I really need to work on is my self-efficacy. Um, to like I said, I think reflection would give me a better idea of what new things I could use and what proven tried and true methods can work with with the upcoming school year or even a semester or even a thematic unit. The third issue or third disposition I found myself lacking was community involvement. I completely disagree with the amount of community involvement. It seems that everybody has an agenda and everybody wants to push their agenda, whether it's local business leaders, whether it's a teachers union. The students want to push their agenda. Of course, and there's always the agenda of the principals, the school board, individual members of the school board, and community involvement is to me. How can I put this, Instructor Mason? I think it's just there's just too many too many agendas being pushed into what matters most is teaching our students the basics of reading, writing, mathematics, and job skills. All right, and how to be successful in life. And when you have too many agendas being pushed into one forum, I'm sorry, but that's just a recipe for disaster. And when you have too many people who do not know the inner workings of an education system or a school board, and they're trying to push an outside agenda, it does it. It creates chaos, and it does it. It creates power blocks, and where politics get involved, and ultimately in the end, the students get hurt with all the distractions. So even though I'm against community involvement and all the agendas that are being pushed, I also accept it as a necessary evil, and I'll just leave it at that. All right. Now, the one neutral uh, disposition I found myself was, let's see, come to think about it, professional friendliness was another of the dispositions I found myself disagreeing with. Um, well, by nature, I'm an easygoing person. Probably one of the most I'm a very easygoing person, very friendly with my students. However, you need to. I honestly believe you need to keep it strictly professional. That you are the instructor, you are the manager. The students are your responsibility to teach them and to train them. And the reason why I say this is I kind of think I might need to work on this a little bit more. This position is that being easygoing and friendly with your students might be misinterpreted by students of other cultures. If, for example, me being Caucasian, I get along very well with my Caucasian African American students. However, students of other heritage, such as Hispanics or Asiatics, might see my professional friendliness as an insult to them, or they might not respond well to that. So I would have to be careful, and I would encourage all teachers to be careful, but and just do it this way: be professional, be respectful, and try to understand where your students come from, but don't be friendly. Don't try to be their best friend. Just keep it professional, where you say, hey, look, this is my classroom. I will help you. This is material that has to be taught. We have work to do. Let's get this done. Okay. Now, the second part of the video, I want to talk about what does a professional teacher look like, and how do they behave? Well, in my honest opinion, Instructor Mason and my fellow students, and I also take a side note that there are quite a few of us in this program that are working on our masters in reading. I point out that a professional teacher can be pretty much be anybody. A guy, an everyday guy like me, Professor Mason, maybe. Good professional teachers, efficient teachers at that, come in all sorts of nationalities, colors. As long as do you know what you're teaching, do you have a good rapport with your students, and are you able to help them learn what they need to know to earn job skills or to even go to a higher education? Okay. How do good and effective teachers behave? Well, one, I would say that's a multiple part answer, and I'll do my best to give you a couple of tidbits of information. I honestly think that behaving is going by your own set of values and mores, the expectations of your principal, the policies and procedures of your school board, and the laws of the state and federal departments of education. And those are your major roadmaps, your guides to behave effectively in the classroom. Um, and also when you're doing professional learning, or even just out and about in society, because I have discovered that educators and teachers are really scrutinized when they're out in public. I'm not exactly again with that idea. However, it happens with what it happens. And that, like I said, they can also behave according to what the material they have to teach. I've known when I taught social studies, I actually dressed in a 1700s uniform to teach when we were discussing the Revolutionary War and the beginning making of the Constitution, just to kind of give the students a something to look at, something to think about. And I'm not saying to dress, flamboyant or anything like that, but everyday business casual, I think, would probably be the appropriate dress. But if you're teaching languages or social studies or mathematics, dressing up once in a while to with the theme what you're teaching is okay with me. What standards guide teachers' thinking? And again, it comes down to is one, what is your self-efficacy? What are your mores and your prohibitions? Okay. Three, what are the expectations set by your principal and your administration? Four, obeying the rules and policies and procedures set forth by the school board. Five, state and federal Department of Education. And if you can keep all those in mind, and I understand it's a lot, and sometimes I get overwhelmed with what I have to cover and what rules, regulations I have to go with. It can be very confusing and can be overwhelming at times, but those are the ones that the teachers need to consider and use to be effective in the classroom and to behave in a professional manner. All right. So those are my the questions that I wanted to address. The last thing I want to talk about was what dispositions do I really agree with. All students can learn. I have that philosophy. I was a special ed student myself when I was in high school, but it took a special teacher. My English teacher was able to reach me, and all students can learn. And like I said, three major learning styles: auditory, hands-on, visual. Okay, all students can learn. As teachers, it's our responsibility to give them the tools and the know-how to do that. All right. Should I be sensitive to individual learning? Yes, I should. Yes, I agree 100% with that. Because what one method may work with a student and another method may not. So again, there's that juggling act that we teachers have to do. Okay. Sound judgment, I covered that. And the only note I will say with that is, yes, I agree. Sound judgment is important. And if you don't have a good feeling with something, don't do it, and talk it over with your either your department chair or even one of your principals, and get their input and their spin on that. Promote curiosity and active inquiry. Absolutely. If you can get students interested in a topic, and you won't have lots, but you will have some who actually will take it a step further and do their own reading or research, and they'll come back to you and they'll surprise you and they'll say, "Hey, I did some reading on my own, and this is what I found, and this is what I think." And then when you get that aha surprise moment from those students, then you know that you've reached them, that the one student or group of students, and you know that they're destined for bigger and better things. Okay. Let's see. Model integrity. I covered that. Basically, integrity is being yourself, following the rules, and just doing that. And committed to teaching and learning. I agree with that. I have been an educator. I've seen both sides of public and private and correctional education. And I am committed to teaching my students, to helping them learn through their styles to be successful and to learn and to act and to seek knowledge. So thank you for watching my video. I'll put the link on the worksheet and I'll send it in. Thank you.